So, as we look at our game test, we can see that there are still some issues. First of all, the boss is falling down. The barrels kind of move a little too slowly, and when they fall down the ladder, they kind of just stop moving. So, we are going to experiment a little to see if we can fix some of these. And then you'll go ahead and create your own level. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is fix the boss and the rotation of my character. So here's my block guy. If you remember on physics, I'm going to just say no, it cannot rotate. I'll open up my boss in physics. I am going to say that it cannot move, so it's just going to sit there temporarily. We might want to make the boss move later on, but let's see if that fixes the boss falling over. Now the other thing we want to do is the barrels. If the barrels are moving too slowly, one thing you can do is change this number to a higher number, or you could go even slower if you wanted, to give them a little more initial velocity. The problem is, on our tile sets, I used this for my floor, this tile set. And you'll see that the collision setting is a rectangle up. So we're going to have to strategically place some angled triangles. I'm sorry, triangular collision boundaries. So what I'm going to do is use, let's say we use this red block. No, actually I'll do this red one and this green one. So the red one, I'm going to give a left collision angle, and the green one I'll give a right collision angle. Now when I go back to my level, anywhere that these blocks, anywhere that the barrels slide into a corner, I'll give a right collision. So when it slides down here, it's going to hit this and slide. And then over here, I'll put this one in the left. Now when this comes down the ladder, however, let's see if we can test this out. We'll go, we'll just put that there. Now I'm going to test my scene one more time. Obviously, I would probably redesign this so if the barrels flow a little smoother, more realistic. But let's see what happens if we do this. So eventually, you're going to have to kind of realign the platforms. And you can see with our debug drawing that this angle, when the barrel hits, it's going to launch over this way. There we go. So you see with the 30 initial velocity, the barrels move a lot faster. And you can see that they bounce around on these edges. See that one? So the only other problem is when they fall down this ladder, they lose a lot of their velocity and they get stuck in these corners. So that's something we're still going to have to improve. Now what I'm going to do, we're also getting too many barrels on the screen. So I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to this red brick here so I know it's different than the rest. On this red brick, I'm going to go back to my tiles. On this red brick, I'm going to put no collision. So the barrels will pass right through it. And I'm going to go back to barrel. And again, when it exits scene, the barrels will kill themselves. You could also do something like this, just in case they ever get jammed up. This is sort of optional, but you could say, do after 10 seconds, kill self. Test that one more time. We just have to be careful to make sure this doesn't kill all of the barrels. We just want it to kill the one barrel at a time. And just be careful of your character that if you leave the scene, the game will freeze. So we'll have to add an event that says when you leave the scene to also reload. Oh, and I just saw one of the barrels up top disappear. See that? So that works kind of nicely. Obviously the barrels are still not moving in the right direction. And look, my guy's sticking to walls. So that's something from our first game that you should know how to fix. So let's go back and double check that my block guy, his physics, his material, let's put his friction down to 0. And now it's up to you to just experiment with your level design and if your timing and how fast the barrels are going to move to create a functional level that has smooth, fluid motion and makes sense as just a gameplay. And in our next video will be the final challenge for you. And I'm excited to see what you come up with.